Hi everybody, I'm coming to do a quick Hi everybody, I'm coming to do a quick video. I didn't mean to come without makeup and all that stuff, but this one happened yesterday and it needs to be talked about. So here I am. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you've been with us before, welcome back. And if you just stroll past, saw the title and decide to click on, welcome, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and also share. This video, I know my mood is kind of down because this actually happened to us a few months ago. But it is just like the title says, layovers, flight delays, and it's that travel time of the year. And why my mood is kind of down is because just like the title says, story time about flight delays and flight layovers. And it's not my story, but it happened, and I was standing right there when it was transpiring. And then I'm gonna do another video, probably a little more upbeat, with makeup on and all that stuff, speaking of these things and what you should do when this happens to you. But this story time is a different type of story time because it's not about me, but it happened to someone we were in the airport with. Okay, so let me start. It was us coming back from a long trip, and we had to get to another trip. So we were standing in line and we were booking another accommodations because our flight was canceled. Now, while we were standing there to book our flight, there was a young lady that was in front of us, and what they were telling us to do was to make sure, we try to call and get an agent on the phone before you get to the desk. And the young lady was there with her 2 kids, and she was like, I just want to get home. I just want to get home, because she said she had just came from another location with her kids, and she wanted to it was time for her to get home because she had to go to work. And it was 2 little bitty kids. And so we on the phone I'm on the phone. My husband's standing there while she's, pretty much in tears because the flight was canceled. And it was kind of getting late. By this time it was probably about 8 o'clock, but the kids, you could tell, was kind of antsy, getting tired type of thing. So she was trying to get them, kind of keep them calm, while she was also, you could tell, was very upset. And so she was standing in line, and she kept saying, I need to get home, I need to get home. So time we got to the desk, we had booked our flight, and they said the only flights that were going out within 2 days due to weather and delays. So, and around this time, it was around Christmas time. So it was like, okay, Christmas going into New Year's, so it was like, that time of holiday travel. So she was still a little upset. So she came to the line on the side of us, and we had finished up our transaction and everything. We left, and because again there was nothing else. We had already booked our flight, and they told us that they can't do anything about hotel stay and things like that, food, nothing like that, because it was weather. So we was like, okay. So I had already booked our hotel stay, and we were going to have dinner with somebody else that we had met on the flight, and they was headed to the same place we were headed to, but they, that was another whole story. If you want to hear about what happened with them, you might want to go over to my United video. But anywho, we go to dinner, and so we decided to have dinner with them. So we having dinner, and we have an airport shuttle that's going to pick us up from there. And so in the midst of us having dinner with them, And I didn't call it airport shuttle at the time because we were having dinner. So we were sitting there, we were having dinner, and the couple had let us know that they were awarded a hotel stay, and because they were shocked that we were staying at the Hyatt, they were staying at Doubletree. And I was like, and they were like, oh, they gave y'all they didn't give us anything. I paid for it. And they were like, what? So they had got hotel and food paid for. So I was like, wow. So they were like, yeah. So I went back up to the desk. And when I went back up to the desk, the young lady was still standing there. And at this point, she was hysterically crying. She had 2 small kids. And she said she did not have any money and to feed her kids or to stay there. So she had to get home. She had nothing. She needed to get home. So she was in tears. She was like profusely crying. So the desk agent there like kind of blew her off. But there was another desk agent that was there that was extremely nice. She came, she saw her, because people was, being kind of rude and everything. And you can understand during that time, everybody is just annoyed at this point, right? So she was like really like profusely crying. So the lady came and she was standing over to the side. I think she was helping someone else, but she came over there to help her, and she said, tell me, what is the closest airport besides the airport you're going to, because there's nothing going out that way. She said, what is the closest airport that you can get home with your 2 small kids that maybe I can look and find for you? Nobody didn't think of that. Nobody else thought of that for this lady. This lady had been, obviously she had been there crying before we left, because she was standing in front of us in a line. So we had left, went got dinner, and while we was about to eat dinner, had ordered our food had came. I heard that they, what these people had gotten, and I came back up there to sock them out, and I was getting rudely, but it wasn't about me at this point. It was about this young lady that was traveling with these 2 small kids, and like everybody was really like brushing her off. And when this other gate agent came, I was so relieved, because she really tried. Now, it's so much she could do, but she was really, really trying. But then it really made me upset even more, because this other couple we were with, they had no small kids. They seemed like they were okay. And y'all couldn't give this young lady with her 2 small, they were small. These kids had to be she had to have it looked like maybe a 3-month-old and a 2-year-old. Like, they were really small kids. So it was like, and then the poor kids was crying, and she's trying to like deal with them. She's crying, and I was just like, it just like touched my heart. But I knew if I would have butted into her business, because it wasn't my business, but if I would have butted into her business, it sits people kind of wrong. Because I was like, you know what, I could just get this lady a room and some food for the night, and she would be fine. But the way this gate agent was like handling it, I was just like, wow. The rest of them, garbage. She pretty much was finding this lady the hotel, the airport nearest her, and looked like she was finding it. And finding out, if she gets to this place, then maybe she could get a flight here. Or she was like, no, I have family in that area. And so the lady was, kind of, getting her together, trying to get her home. And I was like, wow, because when I was there, my mouth was open, because the way they were treating me at the desk, my mouth was wide open, because I was like, wow, this lady, like, the other gate agent just like walked off, but this lady like really helped this lady. And I was like, wow, because I was just gonna tell him, you know what, but I didn't know how long her flight was. I was gonna be gone in 2 days. I didn't know if she was going to the same place, because there was so many flights being delayed, so many people that had to be there 3 and 4 days. Luckily ours was 2, because we had another flight to catch in 3 days. So but it was just so heart-wrenching to see this gate agent do this for her. So, but and that was that story time. It just touched my heart. I just had to share it. But I'm also going to share what you can do if you have layover flight delays. Some things you can do at the airport. Some things you can do to get by in those type of situations. So stay tuned.